Welcome to Airborne on 88.5 FM, WFCF, and staugustine.com. As always, we have a very special guest, or I should say guest, in the studio with us today. I want to welcome the Curator of Education at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm and Zoological Park, Katie Girvin, and our little friend right here, who we have yet to name. What are we looking at right here, Katie? And first of all, welcome.
Thank you for having me. What we're looking at here is an albino alligator. This is an albino American alligator. So it's just like the alligators that you see everywhere here in Florida.
Right.
But it's this white ivory color, and it doesn't have any of the black pigment that most alligators have, so it will show up this white color.
You're right, they are usually black. We always think of them as green, as in cartoons and everything, but they're not green.
No, they're very dark in color, and that's to help them because they're cold-blooded animals,
right.
And it actually helps them absorb the sun better and heat up their bodies.
That makes perfect sense. I never considered that. Yeah, the heat draws in, and they're also camouflaged that way.
Absolutely, definitely.
Now this fella isn't.
Right, this one has no camouflage at all and is very visible out in the wild, and that's why they're extremely rare out in the wild. As soon as they're hatched, they get eaten up, gobbled up by other predators, and so you won't see them out in the wild.
So that's an occupational hazard of albino American alligators,
right.
Is they're just sitting ducks for egrets and any other type of predator. What type of diet would, well, let's first start with a regular alligator, if I can use the word regular, in the wild. What are they usually feeding on?
Pretty much anything they want to. Alligators are the top dog in the swamps, in the wetland areas,
right.
And they prefer to eat smaller prey, bite-sized prey, because they don't really chew their food, so they like smaller prey, but if something comes along a little bit bigger, they're definitely going to go after that.
When they, the big ones, feed larger prey, they go into a roll, and can you explain that a little bit of their actual technique they use?
Sure, that is called the death roll.
Right, aptly.
And what they're trying to do is break off small bite-sized pieces. Wow. So they're going to grab hold of their prey, maybe take it underwater until it drowns or dies, and then you're going to see them do that death roll to grab off pieces because they don't really have hands that will help them break it up into pieces, so that death roll helps them break off little chunks, and then they'll swallow it.
I've read accounts too where they'll actually, is there any validity to this, where they'll actually, if they are successful in a large piece of prey, drowning it, then stuffing it somewhere and letting it tenderize for a few days? Is that correct?
It does happen.
That's pretty gruesome.
Yes. It's easier for them to eat if it's that way. You know, it gets a little bit softer, it gets a little bit more tender. Easier for them to, consume because, again, they don't chew their food. They swallow it whole. So it kind of partially pre-digests it a little bit for them.
If you're just joining us, we're speaking with the Curator of Education at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm and Zoological Park, Katie Girvin. And thank you. This is a wealth of information. These are these little things we pick up over the years and wonder, is it true? Like, for instance, alligators have an incredible amount of force and compression of their jaws, but not very much so. They say you can almost hold their jaws closed with just a few fingers.
Well, you can see that this alligator does have its mouth taped.
Thank you.
So, not to hurt anybody, but this is just, it's very special tape.
Right.
Scotch tape. So it's not very strong.
Held
it's just
together with
tape.
Scotch tape.
So it's coming.
Yeah, that's
you.
fine. I'm just glad for the Scotch tape, folks. Wow.
So I mean, they really don't have a lot of power to open their jaws.
It's all right. It's okay. Yeah. How are you? I'm getting nosed by an alligator, and I'm liking it. What about captivity? What do we feed alligators?
Well, in our zoo, what we feed them a specially designed diet. It's called alligator food. And the bigger alligators get a bigger size pellet, and the smaller alligators get a smaller size pellet, and it looks very similar to dog food. And it's not dog food, it's specially designed for a crocodilian species.
Right.
But it's dry food. We give them the pellet, they love it. And for a supplement, we give them rats and mice and things like that.
You got to give them some of the stuff they're used to, right?
Just for a special treat.
Oh, exactly, if they've behaved well.
Right, exactly.
Well, this alligator does not have a name, if I understand.
Right.
And we were hoping that some of our viewers
We would love a name.
would write in a name. Now, we have on your screen right there, I think to my right, is the email address, airborne@staugustine.com. If you have an idea for this alligator's name, we encourage you to email us. We've heard several, from Snowflake to Ivory to white chocolate to vanilla fudge or vanilla. If you've got, if you want to vote for one, that's fine. If you want to come up with your own, that's airborne@staugustine.com. And we're speaking with Katie Girvin. She's the educator, I should say the director of education at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm and Zoological Park. You've got a lot of things going on at the park. First of all, some fascinating exhibits. There's a Komodo dragon exhibit.
Yes.
You want to share that with us, please?
Komodo dragon exhibit, very exciting new exhibit for us, just opened in May. It does have a Komodo dragon, which is the star attraction. He's very cool. He just turned 8 in October.
Right.
He had a bunch of kids over for his birthday party. In that exhibit, we also have some other small snakes from that region of Indonesia area. We have a king cobra.
That's what I heard.
Yes, very cool animal, very neat. I get a little bit spooked out every time I look at it.
And a big reticulated python. I heard
21 feet 9 inches.
Yeah.
Huge snake.
Yeah.
So, very large snake, one of the largest in zoos, documented.
We're hoping to encourage our producer, Chris Schaefer, to go in the cage with the python and see who wins.
That would be a great idea.
But I don't think it's not going to happen, is it? Anyway, and also exhibits for Maximo and Gomek.
Yep. We have Maximo is our large saltwater crocodile. Very large. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest reptiles in the world. And he actually replaced Gomek, which unfortunately passed away in 1997.
Right.
But we do have an exhibit to
honor
Gomek and his life and the capture of Gomek and his story as well. So.
My son just went there recently, and we're the type of folks who will get a year-round pass, and because they have revolving exhibits and things like that, and you can go different times a year and see different things. And he was telling me about the Gomek exhibit because it's the story of Gomek, where they had these villagers who were missing regularly, and they put it together.
He was definitely known as a man-eater.
Yeah, so. Can you imagine? Oh, wow. But those are the sort of fascinating things you can see at the Alligator Farm. You also do a lot of new events that are family-friendly and directed towards children, and evening events. Tell us about some of those. Those are great.
Yep. Since I came on board in February, we have started an education department. So we're doing lots of new events. There's something different going on all the time, trying to encourage more people to come. We're doing parents' night outs, where parents can register their children to come, and instead of a babysitting option, your kids staying at home watching TV all night, you can send them to the zoo, and they can have a fun, educational time, safe environment, doing supervised activities, games, crafts, and animal presentations, going out for a night tour of the zoo.
That's very cool.
We even feed them, so
yeah, that's
a good one.
That's very cool. All right, well then, we have been speaking with Katie Girvin. She is the Curator of Education at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm and Zoological Park. And Katie, if folks would like to learn more, how could they do so?
Well, you can call us at you can visit our website at www.alligatorfarm.com, and it's got all the information about our programs. If you want specifically our education programs, go to the education tab, and it's right there. Or you can give us a call, 904-824-3337, and if you want to talk to me directly, my extension is 29.
Katie Girvin, thank you so much for coming on Airborne and sharing our gator. And remember, folks, go to airborne@staugustine.com and let's name this fella. So let's do that, and we'll get a name and let everybody know, okay?
Absolutely, love to.
You've been Airborne with Matt Jeffs on staugustine.com and 88.5 FM, bringing interesting people from your world so you can stay dialed into your community and the folks who make it tick. See you next time.